You go from a pretty good game yesterday for the Leafs, come out guns a-blazing, things are going great. You win a hockey game in Ottawa, and they head to Buffalo today, come out absolutely flat, and end up tying the game. And, well, we'll get to what happened later in this hockey game for the Toronto Maple Leafs as, well, it's a 5-2 game right now against the Buffalo Sabres. It could be 5-3 because we just got a power play, but it doesn't really mean anything. And I wanted to get on here early because I wanted to talk about some things. First off, the Leafs came out in the first and were terrible. I mean, they were bad, right? The shots on goal in the first period, guys, was 16-6 in favor of Buffalo. However, it's a 0-0 hockey game after one period, so that's okay. But then you go to the second period, and then Larson scores, and Sheary scores, and this team just looks flat. Now they're down 2-0. Sandin left to the dressing room, didn't return till late in the second period, and we're all like, this is not going well at all. But about midway through the period, Spets with a nice little feed to Igor Korshkov. Just called up for the Toronto Marlies. Actually just had an overtime winner yesterday for the Marlies, and he buries his first goal of his NHL career. Nice shot for the big guy. Attaboy. First goal of the year, obviously Spezza and Clifford grab assists, and the Leafs are now within a goal. It is a 2-1 game. Hey, we're right in this now. You know, and then you head into the third period. The Leafs played a really good end of the second, trying to carry that momentum into the third and look to tie this game. 2:11 in, Zach Hyman tips in a point shot from Jake Muzzin. And we're tied at 2. The Leafs are all over the Sabres. The Leafs either look like they're going to get a power play or they look like they're going to score a third goal. Meanwhile, they cut to the front of the net and guy loses footing. Maybe got hit by a stick, but it's hockey. And he goes down and Muzzin gets a penalty. And that was Muzzin's second penalty. I mean, in this one, I think it was. The first one was awful as well. Well, that was one on Jack Eichel where the stick barely touched his feet and he drops to his knees. Just because a player falls down doesn't mean there's a tripping penalty. It doesn't mean a damn thing. So they call this on Muzzin, and the whole thought process is you gotta kill this off. You have to. Well, they don't. They allow Jack Eichel to walk in and score, and he's showboating to the Leaf fans in the front. I'm like, I'm sorry, Jack, your team is extremely far out of a playoff spot. I don't care that they've now won 4 straight games. They are only 2 games over 500. He's never made the playoffs in his career with the Sabres. Why is he showboating? I mean, really? There's no need for it. Now they take the lead. But this is when the wheels fall off the cliff. I think 51 seconds or 40-something odd seconds, whatever. Sandy makes a rookie mistake going right at Kyle Okposo. Okposo puts the puck around him, goes around him on a breakaway, and beats Frederik Andersen. Meanwhile, Kerfoot's just kind of picking his nose back behind Okposo, waiting for something to happen. And now they got a 2-goal lead. And literally 42 seconds or whatever it is after that, Jimmy Vesey scores. And in a matter of about a minute and a half, that 2-2 hockey game turned into a 5-2 Buffalo lead. Now, I'm not sitting here blaming the referees for ending this game. But man, did they put their best foot forward to try and make something happen. And that is exactly what happened today. I'm sorry. Look, the Leafs did get a power play. Yeah, they got one with like a minute left or a couple minutes left in the game. You're down by 3 goals. Meanwhile, 2 of the 3 Buffalo Sabre penalties were absolute pipsqueak garbage. You know, and one leads to the deciding goal, leading to an onslaught. Meanwhile, the Leafs dominated play from about the midway part of the second period when they scored that goal till about midway through when did they score that goal? When did they 6:06 in? So it was probably about the 5-minute mark. That stretch, that 15-minute stretch, the Leafs were all over Buffalo, made them look so stupid. But then the penalty was called, and then the tides turn, and the game is over. And it sucks because the Leafs now could have a 6-point lead over Florida. Now 4-point lead, and they have 2 games in hand. So those are 4-point possibility there. And they have the tie break because they beat us in the season series. So that's the problem I'm having right now. Yeah. I get it. The Leafs shouldn't have caved in. No matter what the referees did, they shouldn't be caving in like that. And I do agree on that. It is the second night of a back-to-back. I'm not trying to make excuses, and they did play a really weird first two periods. And they put everything out there in the early going to the third, and then got the penalty called, and the one goal, and they were just kind of deflated after that. It looked really, really rough. It kind of looked like Buffalo after the Leafs scored the first goal. And I don't really know what to say after a game like this. Because the officials did put their stamp on the game. But the Leafs, in fact, when you give up 3 goals in a minute and a half, you can't just blame one penalty. Because that was only one of the goals. And a 1-goal game is still doable to come back from. Then that power play with 2 minutes left could have been huge. You could have pulled goalie, and then you give a 2-minute bench, and who knows, you would have tied it. But instead, they gave up 2 more goals very fast afterwards, and it just kind of all came. It was 3 goals on 7 shots in that span. It was not a pretty, minute and a half, I guess it was, of the third period. Otherwise, I thought the Leafs didn't play a very good first period, but Frederik Andersen was spectacular. In the second period, they weren't very good until about midway through. Then they got a goal. It went to their legs. They had a really good end of the second period. They got the goal early in the third. I'm like, this team is, where the heck have they come from? Then the next few minutes after that, they're playing really good. They're all over Buffalo. And then Hutton had to make 2 10-bell saves. Then you get the penalty, and then it's gone. Any bit of momentum that you had was gone. And I don't know where you want to put the blame, guys. Do you want to put the blame on Frederik Andersen? Because I got to say, on the Okposo goal, yeah, it's a breakaway. And yeah, you kind of beat him to the front. Freddie didn't even, like, it didn't look like, it really looked like it was an attempt to make that save. He just kind of floated over there. It was like, damn it. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Again, I'm not a goalie, so I'm not going to say, well, positioning this position, because I'm not going to do that. The Jack Eichel goal, you don't let, no matter power play or 5-on-5, a guy like Jack Eichel walk right down the middle of the ice with time and space. Disaster. And for the Jimmy Vesey goal, it was just kind of a loose puck banging away. You know, it's just bad, you know. Or no, it was Ristolainen got to the front of the net and just kind of fed it off to Vesey. Bottom line, it was basically a really mini 2-on-0. Not sure the Leafs defense were picking their nose there, but again, you want to blame the referee for the call? I will. And the power play goal to give them the lead and change momentum, I will definitely put that on the referees. But the next 2 goals, I get the momentum maybe changed. But if you're going to be a Stanley Cup contending team or a playoff team for that matter, you got to find a way to weather a storm. And the Leafs didn't. So you guys can take this game for what it is. You guys can, it sucks because Frederik Andersen played such a good hockey game, and he'll have 5 goals and 36 shots. And there goes my theory, like I said in the last video earlier today, in the Ottawa video about the whole Jack Campbell thing. Do you think with Frederik Andersen now lost his two games since coming back from injury, and since Jack Campbell has come here, he hasn't lost? Do you think maybe in the next game against Pittsburgh, you maybe go Jack Campbell? I don't know. It's going to be really intriguing to see what Sheldon Keefe has up his sleeve for that game, because that's not going to be an easy one. You're in Pittsburgh on Tuesday. The Leafs are kind of all over the place. We don't know we have no idea what this team is. People can say, "Oh, they're terrible." Well, okay. There's that. Why? You obviously still don't have Morgan Rielly. You lost Johnsson for a long period of time with the surgery. You lost Mikheyev. Those guys are huge parts of your team. Morgan Rielly's your everything on defense. The Leafs are the bottom 4 in the league in goals by a defenseman. Morgan Rielly would answer that, but he's not here. So you go for a team like Pittsburgh, no Chris Letang, for example, right? I mean, who do we play tonight? Buffalo. Ristolainen, maybe? I don't know. Their defense is kind of all over. Maybe Brandon Montour, maybe. But a lot of good teams in this league have one really good defenseman, right? We play Pittsburgh. They have Chris Letang. Who do we play after that? Pittsburgh, I guess, home and home against Pittsburgh. You get Carolina. They have multiple good defenders with Pesce and Slavin and guys like that, But you look at Washington, a guy like John Carlson, right? Those big boomers there. You got what? I'm trying to go down the list here. You get Shea Weber on Montreal. And look at the way Montreal's playing now without Shea Weber. When you lose your key guy on defense, it is so hard. If I'm not mistaken, though, Morgan Rielly actually did get back on the ice and skate within the last few days or so. So that's very, very good news for Leaf fans. But all I got to say, guys, is that this one's a stinker. This one hurts because you were tied. You had all the momentum, and then in a flash, it was gone. It sucked. It really did, all right? Like I said, guys, in Pittsburgh on Tuesday night. 7 o'clock puck drop. It's expected to be Anderson and Tristan Jarry, but again, I don't. Is Pittsburgh on a back-to-back? No, they're not. So there's no excuse there, you know. But I don't know. Is Jack Campbell going to be in net? What do you guys think about that whole scenario? If I'm Sheldon Keefe, I'm like, look, it's a results sport, right? And Jack Campbell has won all the games he's been in except for one where he lost in overtime. And even in that game, he was great. Frederik Andersen's been back for 2 games. He's looked shaky in those 2 games. He was great in the first period today. But again, we talk about it. That big save that you need to get late in the game. You know, you got that from Jack Campbell in Ottawa. You didn't get that tonight from Frederik Andersen. So I understand Freddie just came back a couple games. It's all, you know, I get it. I totally understand it. But as I said in the Ottawa video, guys, it's the whole Holtby and Grubauer situation of 2018 or what I think it's 18. So again, I think I would not be opposing it. Would not shock me if Jack Campbell's in the net in Pittsburgh on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and did not enjoy the ending to this hockey game, smack the like button. Do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below. What you guys thought of this game? Let me know everything. The first period, second period, the officiating, the 3 goals in a minute and a half. Korshkov, what'd you think of him? Anderson's play today. Guys, give me everything. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about this game, this team. And trade deadline's coming up pretty quick. So what do you think can happen in that time? All right. Sounds like Jake Muzzin's contract's heating up. He might be signed very soon. And Twitter is down below for myself, guys. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. Also, the Patreon link is down below. So if you guys are interested in signing up for that, let me know what you guys think about that. Sign up down below if you guys are interested. And I will talk to you guys Raptors Edition on Friday night, as they welcome in the Phoenix Suns to town to come back after the All-Star break. The All-Star game is actually going on right now, so that's good news there for Raptor fans because that means we're one step closer to getting basketball back. And it's a Friday night tip-off at Scotiabank Arena, 7:30 at Scotiabank Arena. And as for our lease, as we talk about that, I think they have like a 4-game road trip now. They head to Pittsburgh. I think today was actually the start of that road. No, I don't know. You know what? Because we've already played 2 games in a row. You guys go nuts. The Leafs are in Pittsburgh, taking on the Penguins on Tuesday, 7 o'clock puck drop there. It says Anderson and Jarry are the expected starters, but would not surprise me if Jack Campbell is in net for this team on Tuesday, all right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys then.